Title: What's actually going through a ghoster's mind? They don't hate you. They just never learned how to act like an actual adult. You know those people who read your text and just don't respond? The ones who say, I'm so busy, then post 3 Instagram stories? The ones who make plans with you, disappear last minute, then text you, hey, what's up, 3 weeks later like nothing happened. Today we're getting inside their heads. And here's the thing. These people aren't evil. They're just emotionally stuck at age. Let me break down what's happening in your ghoster's brain. They know they need to talk to you, but they don't want to. Why? Because they've already played out that conversation in their head. Your disappointed face, your questions, your need for explanations, and they don't want to be responsible for all that drama. Because making themselves feel bad, hard pass. Psychology calls this conflict avoidance. These people have never had a difficult conversation in their lives. Their parents handled everything. Teachers solved their school problems, and when relationships got messy, they just vanished. Basically, they never learned how to say no. Psychologists call this magical thinking. It's something you see in kids. Like if I close my eyes, they can't see me. But these people are 25 years old still using the same strategy. In their heads, it's like, if I don't respond, they'll just figure it out. As if we have telepathy or something. But here's what's really wild. The person ghosting you actually thinks they're protecting you. I'm serious. They're like, I might hurt their feelings, so I'll just stay quiet. They don't see how ridiculous this is, because uncertainty is way worse than rejection. Picture this scenario. Your friend asks you, want to hang out Saturday? You're not really feeling it, but they seem excited. What does a normal person do? They say, I'm kinda tired this week. Maybe another time. What does a ghoster do? They say, sure, let's do it, then disappear. Why do they do this? Because in that moment, they don't want to upset you, but tomorrow, they're totally fine with upsetting you tomorrow. Because tomorrow they won't have to see your reaction. This is where attachment theory comes in. These people usually have what's called avoidant attachment. They're scared of getting close to people. You get closer, they pull away. You bring up a problem, they disappear. Because keeping emotional distance is literally survival for them. And here's another thing. These people see themselves as victims. They're like, why should I have to respond? I'm a free person, right? Dude, nobody's forcing you to respond. Just say I don't want to talk anymore and be done with it. But even that feels too aggressive to them. So what about the person getting ghosted? There's some interesting psychology happening there too. At first they think they must be busy. Then they move to maybe their phone is broken. Finally they get stuck on, did I do something wrong? And this is brutal. Because the person being ghosted starts questioning everything. Did I say something wrong in our last conversation? Was I being too needy? This self-criticism cycle can go on for months. The worst part about ghosting is the uncertainty. The human brain hates uncertainty. Even rejection is easier than uncertainty. Because when you're rejected, at least you know what happened. But with ghosting, there's always this hope. This maybe they'll respond. Now here's the real contradiction happening in a ghoster's mind. They want you to forget about them, and they don't want you to forget about them. Their ego says, don't forget me. But their comfort says, don't bother me, so they want you to both leave and stay. This behavior usually comes from low self-esteem. These people think they can't defend themselves. Like if I talk to them, they'll try to convince me, and I won't be able to say no, so they don't even trust their own boundaries. Let's be real. Ghosting is easy, like really easy. No difficult conversation, no explanations, no seeing the other person's reaction. Just turn off your phone, and boom, problem solved. Temporarily, anyway, because this behavior doesn't solve anything long-term. These people will do the same thing in their next relationship. Because they never learned how to have hard conversations. They'll hit 30 still not knowing how to send a simple text. But there's a deeper layer here. Most people who ghost are actually people pleasers. They're obsessed with making everyone happy. And here's the irony. While trying to make people happy, they create the most misery. Because they leave everything unclear. The other person has no idea what's happening. If we look at history, ghosting isn't new. People used to write letters and not get response. But technology made this way more brutal. Because now you know your message was read. It says online, but they're not responding to you. That wasn't possible before. Social media made it even more complicated. They won't text you back, but they'll watch your Instagram story. They won't call you, but they're active on LinkedIn. This just messes with the ghosted person's head even more. Now the big question, does the person doing the ghosting feel bad about it? Usually yes, because they're constantly running away. They never see anything through to the end. Their relationships stay incomplete, Their conversations never get resolved, and there's always this guilt inside. But they push that down too. Here's what's fascinating. The ghoster thinks you'll understand them. They're smart, they'll figure it out. But dude, telepathy doesn't exist. If you don't communicate, nobody can read your mind. So what do you do in these situations? If you're getting ghosted, don't take it personally, because this behavior says way more about their emotional immaturity than it does about you. And if you're the one doing the ghosting, just send a simple message next time. Even "I don't want to talk anymore" works. You'll put the other person at ease and feel better about yourself. Because at the end of the day, ghosting just delays the problem. It doesn't solve anything. It just makes both people miserable. So that's the psychology of ghosting. It's cowardly behavior, but unfortunately, it's super common, because learning to have difficult conversations is way harder than just disappearing. Have you ever ghosted someone? Be honest, because we've all probably done it at least once.